You ready? Hello and welcome to Michigan basketball on WCBN Sports here on Friday, November 4th. My name is Jake Singer, and I am here with my co-partner, Josh Brown. How are you doing today, Josh?
Doing great. Back for another season of Michigan basketball. Been a long wait since the team lost to Villanova last year in the NCAA tournament. A lot of new faces and a lot of excitement, I think, around this season.
Yeah, we have a lot of excitement around this season. Today's an exhibition game against Ferris State. Michigan back in Crisler Center for the first time this season. Michigan, though, a lot different from last year, has one returning starter in Hunter Dickinson. The other four are gone. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of freshmen, a few transfers even. What's one player that could stand out to you to be a big impact as a new player for this team this season?
I think the player that I'm really most excited to see is Jet Howard. A freshman inserted to the starting lineup. We obviously know he's the son of Juwan Howard, younger brother of Jace. 25 was named team captain for the year. I think Jet, he was the MVP of the Jordan Brand Classic last year. Really rose in the recruiting rankings later on, committed to Michigan, and is just, I think he has the chance to really grow and develop. He'll be playing the three as a small forward. I think he has the chance to make a really meaningful impact on this team, be strong in scoring and defense this year.
I completely agree. Jet Howard will be big. He'll actually be in the starting lineup today, which will surprise a few, but Juwan Howard's going with three guards. We'll give you that lineup in just a second. One player that I'm excited to see is Jalen Llewellyn, the transfer guard from Princeton. He'll be the point guard for the team this season. Michigan's really found a home in getting transfer point guards to lead their
Especially from the
team.
Ivy League, too.
Especially from the Ivy League. And Mike Smith from Columbia. Now you have Jalen Llewellyn. Llewellyn's more of a scorer, even than Mike Smith is, and he's a 6'3" guard, so it gives you some length. And I think that'll really help this team because as of right now, with three guards starting, they're already a little depleted in terms of length, so having a big point guard can really help this team.
Yeah, and Llewellyn, he averaged 38.6% from three last year. Michigan's struggles and inconsistencies from three last year have been very well documented, and that consistency from three could be really important for this team moving forward.
Well, Josh, now let's look at the other team, Ferris State, coming in here. This is their only Power 5 matchup of the season, this exhibition game against Michigan, so they're not really used to competition at Michigan's stature. What's one player that could really help them compete with Michigan here today?
I think a player that'll be very interesting to see is number 0, Dolapo Oleinka. He is a forward, and he had 16 points. Ferris State had an earlier exhibition against Calvin University, and he had 16 points in that. He's a redshirt junior. I think he has a chance to have some type of impact against for Ferris State tonight.
I completely agree. Dolapo Oleinka is really good. He had 16 points, as you just said, so he's definitely a scorer, and he will really help this Ferris State program. But now, done with Ferris State, let's look at the lineups today for this team. So starting with Michigan, you have Jalen Llewellyn starting at point guard. Then you have Kobe Buffkin starting to shooting guard, paired with Jet Howard, who's playing a shooting guard, small forward type role. At the forward position, you have Terrence Williams, the second, the DMV native, and of course, manning the center is Hunter Dickinson. And then for Ferris State, Solomon Orgbayu is the guard with Jimmy Schuler. Now Dolapo Oleinka at the forward with Ben Davidson at the forward, as well as Vejas Grazulis at the forward. So now Michigan, 3 guards, 1 forward, 1 center. Ferris State, 2 guards, 3 forwards. This will be a really interesting match to see, at least height-wise, at this contest start here in the first half.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be kind of a matchup of speed versus size. Michigan definitely doesn't play small ball with Hunter Dickinson, but it'll be really good. I think Kobe Buffkin has a chance to make a really big leap this year. He's added about 20 pounds of muscle. This offseason has been really putting in that work. He needs a chance. He flashed and hit that really big 3 to seal the game against Ohio State last year to seal Michigan's standing in the NCAA tournament. And Terrence Williams also had a big part in that game. I think both of those players have a chance to take big leaps. And in order for Michigan to achieve its goals this year, I think both of those players will have to play a big role in their development.
Well, we're just gearing up here for the start of the tip-off. Josh, I'm really excited to have you with me here today. We're going to do the first half, Josh and myself. I'm on play-by-play. Josh is, of course, my co-anchor. And then the second half, we'll have KG Foley and Coby Segal. So, of course, the fun does not stop even when the first half ends. But we're really excited here to do the first half with you guys. It's a really exciting time for Michigan basketball. You know, a turn to the season. You have Juwan Howard in his 4th season, so this will be great. But we're getting ready for tip-off here. Michigan in their maize uniforms. Ferris State Bulldogs in their reds. We got color on color. It'll be a great mashup here today.
Yep, getting ready for tip-off.
The student fans are back in here. They're going crazy. Everyone's amazed. Of course, the Maze Rage, one of the pride and joys of Michigan, especially Michigan sports.
Be nice with a much more normal home environment. Last year, COVID was still definitely a thing. Nice to have everyone back. Ready to go.
We're off. Michigan controls the tip. Coby Buffkin has the ball. Michigan moving from left to right from our vantage point. Jalen Llewellyn, number 3, has the ball at the top of the post. Into Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson swings it around to Coby Buffkin. Coby Buffkin making his move. Coby Buffkin, strong put up, and he is fouled.
Really like to see that aggression early from Coby Buffkin, taking it to the rim, drawing the contact, and just really solid there. Hunter Dickinson, we know how good he is. Been so solid for Michigan these past couple of years. Now Coby Buffkin shooting free throws.
Coby Buffkin at the line here. The junior. And he made the first points of his season. Now, of course, they don't count as an exhibition, but it must be nice to at least see the ball go through the hoop against a real opponent other than your own teammates. Coby Buffkin, the lefty. And he makes both, and Michigan is up 2-0 here early. Ferris State now with the ball.
Little one-man press going with Llewellyn.
Ferris State. That's Orebeyu into number 24, Schuler. Schuler, left-hand side, post up for the 3, and he misses.
In and out.
And Jalen Llewellyn gets the rebound.
Definitely had an open look there. Let him take it. And
Jet Howard, tough bucket down the right-hand side. That's his first points as a Michigan Wolverine. The freshman, son of Coach Juwan Howard. Now Jet Howard's posted inside. Hunter Dickinson, nice block on the shot by Orebeyu. And Michigan retains possession. Jet Howard brings the ball up the floor. Jet Howard post up 3, and he misses. And it goes now to Ferris State. That is Orebeyu with the rebound. Orebeyu looks the screen, pick and pop, swings it outside to the right-hand side, and he misses. That is Ben Davidson of Ferris State. Terrence Williams now brings the ball up for Michigan. Terrence Williams posts up on Orebeyu. Quick post fade, and it just goes in and out. And Ferris State retains possession. Ben Davidson with the rebound.
Yeah, I think Michigan really needs to settle in and get early, get attack near the basket. Ferris State has had some opportunities near the basket so far. They just missed there, but they'll have opportunity. Michigan's interior defense has been really good so far.
Hunter Dickinson double team now. Sends it outside of the corner to Llewellyn. Llewellyn back to Terrence Williams. Coby Buffkin, and he nails the 3 in the left-hand corner for Michigan. That is 7-0 Michigan. Ben Davidson now with the ball. Ben Davidson to Olayinka. Olayinka back to Davidson. Now to Schuler. Schuler trying to post up Dickinson. Post fade, and he doesn't get the roll. Michigan gets the ball back once again.
Really, really nice defense there. Now they're pushing it up with Llewellyn. Llewellyn attacking the ball. Gets stripped. Turnover there. Ferris State has the ball back. Shoot. Goes in.
Nice shot there by Schuler. 7-2 now. Michigan has the ball. Jalen Llewellyn. Jalen Llewellyn gets it inside to Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson sizes up Valles Grazulis, and he has a nice post fade there for the bucket. 9-2 Michigan on the Hunter Dickinson bucket.
If Hunter can really improve on that mid-range and have a somewhat consistent, respectable mid-range, that'd be really nice for this team this year.
Olayinka with the 3, misses. Hunter Dickinson, easy rebound from Michigan. Dickinson, outlet pass to Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams a second now, eyeing the defense. He's on Olayinka. Terrence Williams takes Olayinka all the way into the paint. Quick body shot, and they call a charge on Terrence Williams. That'll be a turnover on Michigan. Just put the shoulder in Olayinka. That'll be a turnover, Ferris State basketball. And we have our first substitutions of the game for Ferris State. That is Amari Lee for Ferris State and Dang Ring for Ferris State as well, both checking the game for Ferris State. Amari Lee takes the ball up now. He's on Jet Howard, now to Terrence Williams. Sends it to Dang Ring, tries to get inside.
Going to be hard to back down Dickinson in this situation.
Vejas Grilizas, and he misses. Hunter Dickinson, though, cannot get the rebound. And Dang Ring tries to put back, cannot get it, but Hunter Dickinson gives it up again, and they call a blocking foul on I believe that's Jalen Llewellyn, trying to get the charge drawn. Orabeyu drove it inside. Blocking foul, Jalen Llewellyn. And you see now Orabeyu at the line for Ferris State.
Yeah, just not being able to secure that rebound for Michigan. They ended up getting 3 opportunities, and on the third time they drew the foul and now shooting free throws and at the line.
Orabeyu at the line now, the righty. Misses the first one. The ball
on a wedgie.
Stuck in the left-hand corner of the basket. That is a miss, though.
Not even 4 minutes in the season, and we get our first wedgie of the year.
Jace Howard checks in the game for Michigan.
I really love what Jace brings defensively to this team. If he can get some type of scoring offensively, that would be a big boost for Michigan this year.
Michigan currently has a little bit of a hole at the forward position, trying to figure that part out with Terrence Williams and Jace Howard. So having them both get really crucial minutes here will be big as Michigan drives the ball down the floor. That is Jalen Llewellyn. Tosses it out to Jet Howard. Jet Howard back to Jalen Llewellyn with the 3. Jalen Llewellyn misses, though, off the post. And Ferris State regains control now. Amari Lee brings the ball up. Amari Lee almost travels there, but does not. Pass it to Dang Ring. Dang Ring back to Amari Lee. Amari Lee swings it outside. Back to Dang Ring. To Amari Lee. And it gets swatted by Jace Howard. The drive there by Olayinka gets swatted. Jace Howard with his first block of the year. As we have our first timeout of the game with 15:50 left in the first half. Michigan winning 9-2. So, Josh, we're seeing here Michigan up 9-2. They're expected to win this game, but what's one thing that's really stood out to you in these first 4 minutes?
I think defensively has been really solid. You've seen, other than the lack of, on that one possession, being able to rebound, I think this defense has looked really solid. Ferris State, other than the open 3 by the big man, I don't think they've really had many great opportunities to score. I think everything's been really well contested, and that's been reflected with the score so far. I think Jace Howard brings so much defensively to this team with his passion, energy. Last year when Michigan had to travel to Champaign last year and they had a lot of players out, I remember in that game was much closer than a lot of people anticipated. I believe Hunter Dickinson might have been out for that game. Jace Howard brought a lot defensively to that game, and just seeing him grow throughout the year, and whenever his name was called upon, he delivered.
I completely agree. I think so far, as we said, there's a lot of questions with this team, right? You have a lot of freshmen coming in here. You have a few transfers. As I said at the top of the broadcast, only one remaining starter from last season. So being able not just bring in guys, but these guys that Juwan Howard has tried to develop, right? You said Jace Howard, Terrence Williams, Coby Buffkin. These players you're now relying upon as juniors and seniors to fulfill that role that they were supposed to be in as a freshman, where they said, okay, you're going to come here as a freshman, you have 3 years, we're going to develop you, and then by your junior and senior year, you're going to be on that court as a starter. And you're seeing these guys now actually trying to fulfill that role. So it's going to be really key for Juwan Howard, especially in this game, but going forward in the season, especially early on when Michigan's not facing as tough competition, to really see which guys have developed and have really bought into this program, and what guys does he need to replace and utilize his freshmen and transfers for.
Exactly, and I think Juwan has done a really good job in his time developing a really strong culture, and this team seems very connected. The team traveled on an 11-day trip. They went to Paris and Athens and Mykonos, Greece, and Juwan really described a really immense bonding experience that this team had, and just the togetherness of this team. You have Hunter Dickinson and Terrence Williams playing youth ball in 2nd and 4th grade, and just a lot of really good connectivity with this team. I think that can really drive you and take you to a certain degree. And the development of these players, Terrence Williams, Coby Buffkin, I think is going through the process and not necessarily having the most opportunities as a freshman and sophomore, but as you grow and mature, a lot of those players have shown flashes in the past couple of years, and now they're having their chance as the game resumes.
Ferris State now bringing the ball out. Tries to get up top to Omarui. Now to Dang. Dang trying to work around Jace Howard, and he puts it up, and he misses. Rebound Michigan. That is Coby Buffkin with the rebound. Jalen Llewellyn now has the ball. Llewellyn sizing up the defense at the top of the key. Llewellyn out to Jet Howard. Jet Howard, though, bad pass. Gets turned it over to Amari Lee.
Although that play didn't work out, it was really nice to see the movement of Hunter Dickinson on that play. I think it was really key and an interesting point of growth for him this year.
Orabeyu trying to get inside it from Jed Howard. Orabeyu sends it outside to Dang. Dang to Lee. Lee now to Olayinka. Olayinka sends it inside to Grazulis. Grazulis passes it back outside to Lee. There is 4 seconds of the shot clock. Lee comes up and under, and he gets it in over Hunter Dickinson. Point Ferris State, 9-4, Michigan. Michigan now trying to break the press. Sorry there, Josh, but quick shot there by Coby Buffkin, and he misses off the front rim on the three-pointer. You were saying?
Yeah, on that basket there, Jet just got a little beat on that play, and that's what led to a nice drive there by Ferris State.
Quick shot there by Ferris State. Goes out of bounds on Coby Buffkin, and Ferris State will be able to take the ball in from underneath the rim. More substitutions now for both teams. Michigan, Joey Baker, the transfer from Duke, comes in, as well as freshman Doug McDaniel. What do you think of Joey Baker, Doug McDaniel for this team?
I think both of these players have tremendous upside for this team. Joey Baker, when you're recruited by Coach K and Duke, you know you have to have some potential. And while he may not have had the stars and the limelight on him with how talented those Duke teams are every year, I think going to another home here in Michigan could be really instrumental for him. I really like his opportunity this year, and Doug as well.
Ferris State trying to drive it in now. Doug McDaniel playing really tight defense. Joey Baker now on defense. Ferris State driving inside. Quick turnaround shot, and he misses. Jace Howard with the rebound, but he gets it stolen away. Amari Lee with the ball, driving it inside on Jace Howard, and he retreats. Back pass now to Lee. Nice inside pass to number 23.
Oh, he missed the dunk.
Michael Bingham, and he misses the dunk. Michigan rebound, Jace Howard. Jace Howard brings up the floor, sends it inside to Hunter Dickinson on the post move. Hunter Dickinson, double team. He's wrestling, he's fighting, and he gets the and one. Point, Hunter Dickinson, and he'll go to the free throw line for one extra shot.
That's his bread and butter right there, just using his size and physicality and really working for that and one there.
That was a missed dunk by Michael Bingham on Ferris State. Michigan makes him pay with the and one opportunity. Hunter Dickinson now at the line. Hunter Dickinson banks it in. He will now take a rest. Terrace Reed, the freshman, subs in for Hunter Dickinson, seeing the first time he's on the court. Michigan now with their twos in. You got Jace Howard, Doug McDaniel, Joey Baker, Terrace Reed, all new faces, as they're also pressing. Ferris State, though, is able to break the press, and Amari Lee makes them pay with a wide-open three-point shot.
Really effective press break there by Ferris State, really getting really wide-open three and just getting in. That's going to be something that Michigan has to work on.
Coby Buffkin, quick little floater from the left-hand side, and he floats it in. Point Michigan. Ferris State's also trying to press, but Michigan did just as equally of a good job of breaking their press as well. As you have Ding Ring with the ball now for Ferris State. Ding Ring trying to get it around Coby Buffkin, and he turns it over. Coby Buffkin got a little piece of that, went off Ding Ring's foot. Possession, Michigan. Jace Howard taking the ball out for Michigan as they try to break the press once again.
Full court press here. 14-7 Michigan early.
Doug McDaniel, outlet pass, Joey Baker. Joey Baker trying to get a Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed, good ball control, trying to post up, and he just misses the turnaround layup. That was Hazelton of Ferris State. Nice defense there on Terrace Reed to prevent him from getting any points. But Doug McDaniel, quick steal. Doug McDaniel going one-on-one, and he gets fouled to prevent the fast break opportunity. Terrace Reed was wide open for the layup. Doug McDaniel couldn't see him. Nonetheless, he gets fouled, and it'll be ball Michigan taking it out on their own side of the court. It is 14-7 Michigan here with 12:53 in the first half. As I said at the top of the broadcast, Michigan in their maize uniforms, Ferris State in their red. Michigan moving from left to right from our vantage point. It's been a fantastic game so far. Michigan looks utterly dominant as we see another substitution now for Michigan. Isaiah Barnes checks in the game. For Michigan, Doug McDaniel, quick inside of Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed just misses the layup underneath the basket. Nice find there by Doug McDaniel, just couldn't convert. Quick shot there by number 21 of Ferris State. That is Erickson, and he hits the three for Ferris State. Ethan Erickson, to be specific. Nice quick three there by the Bulldogs to bring the game into 14-10. Doug McDaniel now, top of the key, looking for the pick by Terrace Reed. Quick stutter step. Doug McDaniel, easy layup, left-handed, slithering his way through the defense for his first points as a Michigan Wolverine here.
Yeah, when asked at Big Ten Media Days who Hunter Dickinson was most excited about, it was Doug McDaniel.
Amori Lee, though, quick 2 points on the other end, wide open layup, and Michigan calls its first timeout of the half as they lead 16-12 with 12:04 here left in the first half. So now we're being able to see not just the starters play, but also a lot of these freshmen, some of these transfers. We're getting a really good chance to now see some of the depth. What is something you've looked out for, maybe specifically a guy like Doug McDaniel or Joey Baker or even Terrace Reed? Like, what's one guy that's really stood out to you so far?
I think Doug McDaniel is just looking really good so far, just in the short time that he was already in. Freshman out of Paul VI High School, or Paul VI School in Virginia, and just a really solid player, one of the best players in the DMV. Played against Hunter Dickinson and Terrence Williams in high school, played in some of those really good games, so he's very familiar with them, and they were a main part of his recruiting. I think Doug McDaniel, with his athleticism, learning under Jalen Llewellyn for him to possibly take over the reins next year as the starting point guard. I don't think people expect Doug McDaniel to be the starter. I think Llewellyn will be really solid for this team. But I think that Doug McDaniel has real opportunity with his playmaking. He's a little undersized, but Michigan's no stranger to undersized point guards with Xavier Simpson and Mike Smith. So I think he'll fit right in with this team.
I think the key about Doug McDaniel is that he's a scorer as well as a playmaker, right? And you've seen guys like Xavier Simpson in the past, even Mike Smith, undersized point guards, and they've been fantastic in the playmaking aspect, but it took them a little bit to develop to become that scorer.
Exactly.
Seeing Doug McDaniel already taking initiative here in this first half, in the first 8 minutes, you know, he's now that really good layup there. He's passing the ball. He just to keep his eyes up a little bit more. If he can hone in as the scoring point guard as well as a playmaking point guard, I think that's lethal. Because as a team like Michigan, that's starting 3 guards, you know they're going to be undersized this season, especially with a 5'9" guard in Doug McDaniel. So if he's able to score and not just pass, that just adds an extra pressure on the defense to defend and not just sit on their heels and say, he can't drive on me.
Yeah, I think defensively, there were a couple defensive lapses early in this game for Michigan. I think those need to get sorted out, and I think that's what they're addressing in the timeout right now. Up 16-12. I think right now with their current lineup, it's really nice to see Isaiah Barnes get in as well. Really didn't play much at all last year on this team, other than just standard mop-up duty. So seeing him get, while it is an exhibition, seeing him get minutes, less than 8 minutes into the game, I think is a really good sign of his development. Michigan so far shooting 50% from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and that 3 is from Coby Buffkin. Buffkin with an early 7 points. Really nice to see him play well. Game is about to resume. 12:04 left in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far you're getting exactly what you've been looking for from these players, and you just need to continue to do that. It's really exciting seeing these freshmen on this court right now. As I just said, you have both Terrace Reed and Doug McDaniel with a guy like Isaiah Barnes who hasn't played much up in his career. I'm really interested to see his development as well. As we resume play here, Doug McDaniel getting his way down the court. Nice little step back. Doug McDaniel with a shot. Woo! He converts. Little mid-range shot on the right-hand side of the free throw line for 2 for Michigan. Quick start out of the gate.
The ability to get your own shot is just so nice, and especially just given the challenges that Michigan had last year offensively, especially with shooting, that is something that will be much needed.
Erickson with the ball now for Ferris State on Joey Baker. Drives inside. Quick outside pass to Michael Bingham for the layup. That's a 2 for Ferris State, 18-14. Doug McDaniel now just trying to break the one-man press, and he does pretty easily. Doug McDaniel moving from right to left, back to right. Sizing up the defense, top of the key. Quick to Joey Baker, and they call an offensive foul on Michigan on Terrace Reed, and it'll be a turnover. I believe that was an illegal screen.
Yeah, definitely something on the outside. Again, a lot of these things so far, defensively especially, a lot of things that are very fixable, and I think that as the game goes on, it'll be interesting to see how Juwan Howard makes those adjustments and how the team responds.
Ferris State has the ball now. Quick fight there by Jace Howard. So it's not Jace Howard. That is Terrace Reed with the jump ball, just getting on the ground, fighting for the ball. There was a little bit of a mix-up there by Ding Ring, and Terrace Reed jumps the ball, causes a jump ball, and it still retains possession for Ferris State, but that bodes well for possession, at least now back to Michigan.
Yeah, deflection by Jace Howard led to the tie-up, and just really solid defense by Jace.
Terrace Reed, looks like Michigan's back in a sort of a zone now. I think they're playing a 1-2-2 zone.
Yeah.
Isaiah Barnes on defense, and Doug McDaniel now forces a jump ball. Point Michigan. Doug McDaniel just jumped in there, grabbed that ball. He looked around, and it's now possession of Michigan. Really
nice. Love to see that aggression early. Just taking someone from a dribble and forcing a tie-up is really commendable and impressive. Not something that you see super often in a basketball game, and it's really nice to see.
It does bode well that both of those tie-ups were freshmen for Michigan, just showing that they're not afraid to get their hands dirty at the Division I level. Doug McDaniel, top of the key now, eyeing his defense. Quick screen there by Terrace Reed. Passing Joey Baker, the three-point specialist, and he misses the three but gets fouled on his first three attempt as a Michigan, and he'll go to the line for 3 shots.
Yeah, just really nice. Good ball movement, forced a 3, and he was tapped on the arm, and now going to the line for 3. I think one thing for Michigan is going back to those tie-ups. I think that's really much needed. Last year, you definitely saw some lulls and stretches for Michigan. Go back to the game against UCF in December, and even the game they blew in the Big Ten tournament against Indiana where they choked a big lead. Something like that can really create that passion, I think is really much needed and can provide a boost when you need it the most.
Joey Baker makes his first attempt. 2 more now for him. The righty from Duke misses the second off the back post. He has 1 more attempt here. Joey Baker came in as his 3-point specialist, knowing he was going to come off the bench. You know, he shot very well from 3 at Duke, but just couldn't really get many minutes. Comes to Michigan, and he makes 2 of 3 from the line, putting Michigan up 20-14.
Little press action going on right now as Ferris State breaks the press and moving the ball up.
Michigan now on defense. Joey Baker, nice defense there on Orabeyu, but Orabeyu banks it in for 2 points for Ferris State, 20-16. Sorry, that was Olayinka with the shot. Doug McDaniel now has 2 screens. Where's wanting to go? He goes left to Jace Howard's side. Jace Howard, pick and pop, tries to get it inside. Might have traveled, but he doesn't. Jace Howard, turnaround post shot, and he misses. Rebound, Ding Ring of Ferris State. Orabeyu now with the ball. And they call an offensive foul on Ding Ring.
Looks like a little push-off against Doug McDaniel that he drew, landed on the floor, and now going the other way for Michigan.
That was actually on Isaiah Barnes. Nonetheless, Ding Ring picks up an offensive foul, and Michigan will retain offensive possession here, as we have a lot of substitutions of both teams, so bear with us to see who actually is in the game currently. Again, this is an exhibition game, so we're anticipating all players on both benches see some sort of action. We just don't know when or for how long. As Michigan puts back in a few of their starters, Coby Buffkin comes back in the game.
Wellen back in as well. The non-Dickinson minutes are going to be very important for Michigan and how they can handle those maybe 8 or so minutes without him. And that'll be really key as well, and brings the ball up. Looking for a screen by Coby Buffkin.
Jalen Llewellyn sends it outside of Buffkin. Buffkin inside of Terrace Reed. Terrace Reed back out, back inside of Terrace Reed. Nice spin move, and he gets double teamed. Goes up with the shot, and he gets fouled.
Put some really nice post moves there by Terrace Reed. Ended up drawing the contact and now going to the line for 2.
Terrace Reed, a freshman, getting some big minutes here. As you were saying, filling in for Hunter Dickinson, especially when he's on the bench for his 8 to 10 minutes per game, it's going to be crucial. And the 2 guys really behind him are freshmen. So as you see Terrace Reed getting the ball stuck in between the rim and the backboard. We saw it with Ferris State. Now you see it with Michigan. A really high free throw shot there by Terrace Reed. His arc is immaculate. As he misses the second also off the back post, Ferris State possession. Olayinka with the ball. Olayinka down to Orabeyu. Back to Olayinka. Back to Orabeyu. Shot 3 shot by Orabeyu, and he misses just wide. Jalen Llewellyn bringing the ball up now for Michigan. Sorry, that's Coby Buffkin. Coby Buffkin, step back 3, and he sinks it.
Wow.
3 for Coby Buffkin. That's his second of the game, and that really bodes well for his chances at being a starting shooting guard, which he's vying for that starting opportunity currently.
10 early points there for Coby Buffkin. Just really nice, really solid three-point shot. Hit a clutch 3 last year, as I said earlier in the show, and just looking really solid early. As he just had a really nice defensive stop there. Led to a turnover by Ferris State.
Turnover Ferris State. Olayinka trying to get into Ben Davidson on the three-point line. Davidson moved to his left, wasn't expecting to be moved, and it goes out of bounds as we get another timeout. Ferris State 23-16 with 8:45 here left in the first. So as I was saying, filling in for Hunter Dickinson's minutes, 8 to 10 minutes he's going to be on the bench per game. Maybe less in a big game, maybe more and not as big of a game, but nonetheless, you have these freshman centers like Terrace Reed who are going to be expected to pick up the slack. And you also have Greg Glenn the third. So you have these two guys, both freshmen, trying to pick up the slack. So anything point out to you so far on how both their play has been so far?
I think defensively they've been solid. Definitely, a little bit lapses at times. The free throw shooting is going to be something that's super important. Michigan in the past has been very solid shooting free throws. Hunter Dickinson is a very exceptional free throw shooter given his size. Shoots close to about 80% from the line. And now game is back on resuming. I think Greg Glenn, number 90 recruit in the country by 247 Sports. This team is talented for sure, and those guys can help fill the void.
Jalen Llewellyn bring the ball for Michigan. Will Shetter in the game for the first time for Michigan. Redshirted last year, but a lot of promise in him. Michigan working from right to left. Step back 3 by Jet Howard, and he sinks it now. So you're getting your shooting guards really involved. First you have Coby Buffkin. Now Jet Howard, the freshman, son of Juwan, hitting a 3 of his own from the right-hand corner of the three-point line.
And that was really solid. You saw really good perimeter ball movement, getting a really nice look for Jet.
Scholler for Ferris State, trying to get the ball inside the left-hand side of the basket, and he gets fouled going inside. I can't tell if that's on Jet Howard or Will Shetter, but nonetheless, it'll be a shooting foul, and Orabeyu will be at the line for 2 shots. That was on Will Shetter, shooting foul.
Jet Howard did not like to call on that one. I think there was a little bit of contact that drew the foul, and now you have Ferris State, Regbu going to the line.
Orabeyu at the line for 2. He sinks the first. So Jet Howard, not that happy with the call, but also he might have thought it was on him and it was on Will Shetter, so it might have been like, okay, it wasn't on me at least. But all these things matter. I mean, it's an exhibition game. You get one game as Orabeyu misses off the front end. They call an over-the-back foul, I want to say, on Olayinka, and it'll be Michigan possession nonetheless. But as I was saying, all these things matter. You get one exhibition game before the regular season starts. Some of these freshmen are vying for playing time. Some of these guys are vying for starting spots yet. I mean, between you and me, maybe 3 spots are taken right now in the starting lineup, and everything else is subject to change probably throughout the entire season. So it really matters for all these players to put on a good showing and show that they can be good team players, not just shoot the ball well, but also play defense.
Exactly.
Will Shetter at the line. Michigan in the bonus now. Will Shetter, though, misses on the back iron, and it was a 1-on-1 opportunity. So Ferris State has possession now. Scholler with the ball on Jalen Llewellyn.
Michigan shooting 5 for 9 from the free throw line so far. A lot of ways to go, but definitely something that could be important to note.
Orabeyu with the ball, sending it to Clarebot. Clarebot backing down Dickinson, goes with the left and gets it over Hunter Dickinson. Clarebot, his first points of the game for Ferris State, as it is 26-19.
That was a really nice move there. A lot of teams have been able to stretch Dickinson out and been able to limit him defensively. But that was just a really nice move there by Clarebot, going with the lefty, getting the basket.
Dickinson gets fouled, double-teamed, and that takes us to another media timeout. 7:30 left here in the first half. So, as we were saying, not the picture-perfect half, But, of course, we didn't expect that from this team that has not played anybody. Ferris State, on the other hand, 5 exhibition games before this, just most recently on Saturday. So they obviously have had a lot more competition, and Michigan has not played anybody, so there was obviously going to be some sort of gap. But Michigan up 7 here is exactly what you expect from a team that's ranked 22nd in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first game in Crisler Center that they've been played. They had a closed-door scrimmage against Florida State. You don't know how that went, and they did have some games overseas in Europe that I think were very important. I think there were some lineups that we've seen so far where they've had a lot of new guys and new faces in, and in a real game with halfway through the first half, that lineup would definitely not be in. So I think that's something that's important to know when you see the score. Michigan up 26-19 right now at the under 8 media timeout. And I think right now this lineup, you got Will Shetter, Jace Howard, Jalen Llewellyn, Kobe Buffkin, and Hunter Dickinson. I think how the team moves and gets shots around Hunter Dickinson is going to be very important. If teams can shoot well, if you can have perimeter shooting surrounding Hunter Dickinson, that'll really allow him to flourish this year. Because if all the attention is drawn on Hunter Dickinson, then he isn't able to get his points. But if you're able to stretch defenses out further wide and give him more opportunities, we know how good he is. NABC on the watch list for preseason player of the year. He's been on the All-American team in the 2020-2021 season as a freshman. Last year had a really solid year, but definitely got a little overshadowed by Michigan's team struggles last year, only being 11 seed in the NCAA tournament, but making the Sweet 16. I think he'll be in for a really solid year. There's been we haven't seen him shoot a 3 yet, but he made some 3s last year. That was a really nice added wrinkle to his game. Can he improve that 3-point shot, make it much more natural, and then maybe get some more mid-range? I think that'd be a really nice area of growth for Hunter Dickinson this year for Michigan.
Completely. I mean, Hunter Dickinson coming back for his 3rd year, not electing to go to the NBA. A lot of people wondered why this was the case, right? Some attribute it to NIL. Some attribute it to Hunter Dickinson said himself that he just wanted to come back, get the education. He didn't think he was done yet at Michigan. So there's so many factors, but you're right. If he's going to come back and projected to be one of the top players in the Big Ten, maybe even the country, he needs to perform at that level. And currently, he's at the line shooting 2. Hunter Dickinson makes the first. He'll get another opportunity. Sorry, that was a 1-on-1 opportunity. Michigan's in the bonus currently. 27-19. 7:30 left here in the first half. Hunter Dickinson at the line, shooting his 2nd of 2. And he misses the 2nd off of the right iron. It goes to Ferris State. 1 of 2 from the free throw line for Hunter Dickinson there.
Yeah, I think Hunter Dickinson and Trace Jackson-Davis from Indiana are going to kind of be 1A and 1B in the running for Big Ten Player of the Year this year. Both very solid big men. Big Ten's known for having good big men, and then the good guards that all got drafted last year. I think it'll be a really good race in the Big Ten.
Vejas Grazoulis sending it to Clarebot of Ferris State. Clarebot outside of Davidson. Davidson trying to back down Jalen Llewellyn, throws it up at the basket, and he misses badly. Jalen Llewellyn now bringing the ball down from Michigan, moving right to left. Jalen Llewellyn inside, shooting it outside to the corner, and that's a 3 opportunity for Jet Howard, and he sinks it once again. Both Jet Howard and Kobe Buffkin both have 2 3-point makes here in the first half. That bodes especially well for Juwan Howard's plan in utilizing both of them this season.
Excellent ball over there, moving the ball around the horn, and then getting that open look for Jet Howard was really nice to see and very refreshing for the team, I think, as well.
Ferris State driving inside, misses Jalen Llewellyn. Nice defense. That's Orabeyu. Jalen Llewellyn quick with the lefty.
Coast to coast.
And he makes it for Michigan, making it 32-19. Michigan here. Quick shot by Vejas of Ferris State, Vejas Grazoulis, and he makes a 3 at the top of the key, completely killing all momentum going Michigan's way. Nonetheless, Michigan up 32-22. Jalen Llewellyn looking for the screen by Will Shetter. Will Shetter trying to send it inside Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson tries to go up with the shot, and he gets fouled by Vejas Grazoulis, and he will go to the line once again for 2 shots.
Yeah, a lot of these teams that are a little more undersized are going to have a really tough time stopping Hunter Dickinson this year. So if you can't stop him shooting, just foul him, send him to the line. But luckily for him, he's a very good free throw shooter. Did miss one just on the last trip.
Hunter Dickinson at the line, makes the first. Currently 3 for 4 from free throw this game with 7 points. Going for his 8th right now. Full team substitution for Ferris State. We will let you know in a second exactly who those players are. Nonetheless, Hunter Dickinson And he misses the second once again
Rolls
from the
around.
free throw line. So Hunter Dickinson staying at 3 for 5 from the line. Michigan winning 33-22 with 5:44 left in the first half. Ferris State, ding ring, backing down. Coby Buffkin and Hunter Dickinson's there for the cleanup, completely swatting that shot away, going into the Michigan bench, and it'll be Ferris State ball once again. Ding ring taking it out for Ferris State.
That was one powerful rejection. Doug McDaniel back in for Michigan, replacing Jalen Llewellyn. He's been on Schaller and had some very solid defense there as well for him.
Ding ring, sending it inside to Olienka. Olienka on Jet Howard, tries to shoot it over him, cannot, and that is rebounded by Will Shetter. Doug McDaniel back in the game now for Michigan, sending it across the court to Coby Buffkin, and that gets swatted by Michael Bingham of Ferris State. Ferris State now the other way. Olienka backing down Doug McDaniel. A big mismatch. Doug McDaniel was able to poke it out. Ferris State with the ball back. Quick three there by Hazelton, and he airballs over Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, going back to that last 3-point attempt that got blocked by Coby Buffkin, he hesitated a little bit and then ended up getting blocked, but an air ball there by Ferris State, and now Michigan has the ball back up 33-22. Only 14 fouls for Michigan. I think getting into foul trouble was definitely a little bit of an issue last year, so cleaning that up is important.
Doug McDaniel into Will Shetter, goes for the three. He travels as he sinks the three, so it won't count. Will Shetter trying to get his first points of this game. Takes a few extra shuffles there, though, and it is a turnover. Michigan, he looks really disappointed, probably wishing he got that one back.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to see Will Shetter integrated into this team this year. Took a red shirt last year, I believe, and now coming into his own this year with more opportunities to have those types of opportunities.
Amori Lee with the ball, sending it to Ding Ring. Ding Ring out to Olienka. Olienka now sending it to Michael Bingham. Back to Amori Lee. Amori Lee sizing down his defense. Ding Ring will take a three-point opportunity, and he misses. But his teammate, Michael Bingham, is there for the cleanup. Offensive rebound, put back bucket, point Ferris State. That was really nice offensive second chance opportunity there for Ferris State on the oversized Hunter Dickinson. Ferris State now in a 3-2 zone. Michigan trying to break it. Doug McDaniel, three-point opportunity, top of the key, and he misses. Goes off the inside post. Fast break, Amori Lee, coast to coast, tries to get inside, and he travels. Turnover, Ferris State. Amori Lee had the 2-on-1 fast break, tried to take an extra step there, couldn't get away with it, and it is a turnover, Ferris State, 33-24 with 4:07 left.
Good recovery there by Michigan's defense. Ferris State looked like they had an opportunity to go down and score on the fast break, but Michigan recovered really quickly and ended up forcing a travel there by Ferris State.
Doug McDaniel, right side of the key, sending it to Jet Howard in the corner. Jet Howard, quick three, and he makes it again. Jet Howard, three-point make. That is his third three of the game. Jet Howard showing who's boss. 11 points currently, second on the team behind Coby Buffkin, as Ferris State tries to reply with its three of its own, and Ding Ring misses.
Yeah, this three-point shooting so far from Michigan by Jet Howard and Coby Buffkin is really just a breath of fresh air for Michigan as we hit the under 4 media timeout. A really breath of fresh air after the well-documented struggles by this team last year. Caleb Houston really struggled to consistently shoot the three. Had some games where he went off, but definitely some games where he went 1 for 8, 1 for 7, and just really not great. So seeing those threes go down, if that can continue into the season, that'll be really immense for this team.
As we have now with 3:36 left in the first half, another timeout as you get timeouts every 4 minutes. Michigan winning 36-24 here in the first half. So, really seeing these guys that we were saying at the top of the broadcast, Coby Buffkin, Jet Howard, Terrence Williams, Will Shetter, guys that have really tried to buy into the developmental part of being on this Michigan basketball team, getting these opportunities and succeeding very well. Coby Buffkin leading the team with 13 points. Jet Howard, although he's a freshman, he's proving he can be a stellar force on the offense. They need a three-point shoot specialist like him or Joey Baker. You're seeing guys like Terrace Reed, Greg Glenn Jr. getting time with Hunter Dickinson on the bench. So just what do you make of all this change, all these newcomers? How do you think this team is flowing so far?
I think the flow's been really good. There's definitely been some really times, especially in the perimeter, where they've gotten good ball movement and open looks. I wouldn't say there's been many very bad shots that this team has taken so far. Really solid, smooth throughout. Hunter Dickinson has only had 2 field goal attempts, 7 points early, but I'd say a quiet 7 relative. You've seen the guards, Chet Howard and Coby Buffkin really thrive. Doug McDaniel with 4 early points, Joey Baker with 2 free throws. I think this team has really been having some good ball movement, some really nice flashes of potential from some of the guys that did not have as much opportunity last year, but now with so much turnover and new fresh faces, I think it really will have the opportunity to flourish this year.
100%. And then, of course, it would be remiss of us to not mention Hunter Dickinson, currently with 7 points, but he's doing a lot more than just getting points on the stat sheet. You're seeing he's constantly being double-teamed. He's in the center of the press break at the center court. He's taking swarms of guys, putting it on him, and then that leaves other guys open on the three-point line. I mean, you're seeing this team right now, they're not afraid to shoot the three. This Michigan team used to be this three-point specialist team. The last few years have kind of gone away from that. They're not really been taking advantage of their three-point game. But so far, with having Hunter Dickinson in the middle of the court, 2-3 guys on him, guys who can actually make threes like Chet Howard, Coby Buffkin, Joey Baker, Jalen Llewellyn even, that just opens up opportunities for your team to get more points on the board.
Yeah, and when Hunter Dickinson would get doubled last year, you kick it out, and the three-point would be, I'd say Michigan had a lot of really good opportunities and a lot of good looks last year, but they just wouldn't go in. If those can go in, this team will improve automatically, and then you can have less double teams on Hunter Dickinson, have that opportunity to dominate as the season goes on.
Chet Howard now, as play resumes at the free throw line for Michigan, shooting 2. He makes the first.
And as this season goes along, before conference play, before we get into Big Ten play, this team is going to have a lot of opportunities to showcase itself against very good competition. Against Kentucky and London, UNC, UVA. I think all those teams are really prepared for the Big Ten. Big Ten not as strong as it has been in previous years, given the no preseason top 10 teams, but looking pretty solid overall, and I think Michigan has a chance to do well.
Chet Howard makes both free throws, 13 points currently. Ferris State now bringing the ball up the court. Inside to Orabeyu, and he gets fouled. Orabeyu going to the line for 2. That is on Coby Buffkin, shooting foul. That's his first. Solomon Oregbu at the line now for 2 shots for Ferris State Bulldogs. He makes the first, 38-25. 3:23 left here in the first half.
One thing that we haven't talked about so far is just the loss of Eli Brooks on this team. Been on this team for so long. It's one of the best perimeter defenders in the Big Ten. How can he be replaced? I think Coby Buffkin will have a big part in that this year for the team. And if he can be a very solid perimeter defender, it's hard to fill the void of someone who contributed so much to this Michigan basketball program, not just through his points and contributions, but to the culture of this team. And how that void gets filled, I think, will be important as Doug McDaniel brings the ball up.
Doug McDaniel, the ball now, sizing up the defense, sends it out to Chet Howard. Chet Howard sends it to the post. Hunter Dickinson misses, but he gets his own rebound, and he just goes in and out, double team both times, but was able to get the offensive rebound. Second time around, though, just rattles out, and it is Ferris State ball. While on the other side of the ball now, Hazelton of Ferris State has really good defense in front of him by Hunter Dickinson. Chet Howard now brings it in, and he hits the layup. Chet Howard with 15 points. Nice coast-to-coast defense turning into offense for Michigan as they're up 40-26.
He just looks so smooth and relaxed out there, Chet Howard, just making that look such an easy layup, and now is 15 on the game so far.
Oregbu for Ferris State, sending it to Amori Lee. Amori Lee back to Oregbu. Oregbu drives in on Joey Baker, and he's able to put in the right-hand layup.
Breeze past Joey Baker right there and got an easy layup opportunity there, Ferris State.
Doug McDaniel looking at his prospects. Chet Howard, another 3, and he hits it again. Chet Howard is on fire. He cannot miss from 3, from 2, you name it. Chet Howard is putting on a clinic right now for Michigan. As there's a turnover, Doug McDaniel gets a steal. Looking for somebody. Joey Baker drives inside. Back into Hunter Dickinson. Hunter Dickinson, little tap in, and it just goes in and out again for Hunter Dickinson. Can't find the bottom of the net. Hazelton with the rebound. Hazelton sending it out to Ethan Erickson. Ethan Erickson, 3-point shot misses, but they get the offensive rebound. Oregbu with the putback on Hunter Dickinson, and he scores. But Hunter Dickinson, outlet pass, Jet Howard, little shimmy shake for the mid-range, and he sinks it again on the left-hand side. Howard, 21 points for the freshman.
I know Allen Iverson was really impressed with Jet Howard when he was at the Iverson Classic. Really, really impressive. 20 points. It's the Jet Howard show coming out party right now.
Vejas Hasbulas misses from 3, tries to get his own rebound, goes crashing into the Michigan bench, and it is out on him. Michigan ball. Vejas Grazulis.
And it's not as if these looks are just wide open shots for Jet Howard. He's creating his own shot and making these look super effortless and easy. Just really taking advantage of any little ounce of separation that he's had and getting 20 points so far. Jet has 5 threes so far. It's really nice to see.
With the turnover, a few substitutions, Michigan up 45-30 with a minute left here in the first half as we're clocking down. Doug McDaniel sizing up the defense, gets a screen by Joey Baker, sends it inside to Jet Howard over the up and under. Jet Howard again. That is his 22nd point of the game. Jet Howard with the up and under, left to right.
Love the defense on the other end by Doug McDaniel, who gets a steal.
Doug McDaniel bringing it up now, sizing up the defense, goes to Coby Buffkin. Coby Buffkin inside with the tough shot, and he gets fouled. Going in with the right-hand layup. Doesn't go in, but he'll go to the line for 2. Michigan 47, Ferris State 30 with 32.9 seconds left, and Coby Buffkin at the line shooting 2 more for Michigan. Coby Buffkin, the lefty, is currently 2 for 2 from the line. Make that 3 for 3 as his first shot goes in. This is the Michigan team we've been waiting to see. They're now starting to pull away a little bit, up 18 currently. They're up 7 at the last time out. It's really been, I think, a factor. Jet Howard, Coby Buffkin sinking the second shot, the other shooting guard that has been phenomenal to this point. Both those players are leading the team in scoring. Jet Howard, 22 points, Coby Buffkin with 12.
And I think these are 2 of the players that, coming into the year, had a lot of hype and potential around their development and their potential for this team. I think it's really, really impressive to see.
Amori Lee now slowly bringing the ball up. Doug McDaniel playing really good press defense. Amori Lee just cannot get the ball around Doug McDaniel as the clock is ticking down. 10 seconds on the shot clock, 12 on the game clock. Now to Oregbu. Oregbu sizing up Jet Howard. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Oregbu trying to get out to his own player. That's Grazulis, and he misses. And that is the end of the first half. Almost makes it. Jet Howard tries the half-court shot at the buzzer, misses, hits off the rim nonetheless. Michigan 49, Ferris State 30. We are done with half number 1. Josh, wow. I mean,
if that shot had gone in.
Of all the players that we expected to put up 22 points in the first half, you just gave me a stat sheet but didn't give me the players' names. I probably would have assumed it would be Hunter Dickinson. But it is Jet Howard, the son of Juwan Howard. What do you make of his performance so far?
It's just been amazing. That shot almost went in. If that had gone in, would have been the greatest exhibition performance in Michigan basketball history. And it's definitely been, I'd say, the most notable. 22 points as a true freshman, coming on really strong in the starting lineup. And really just that burst that he had late in the first half was really impressive, I'd say.
I completely agree. I think both the play of Jet Howard and Coby Buffkin combined really bring a new style to this Michigan offense we've kind of been lacking recently in the past few years. Having the ability to, as we had said, send it inside of Hunter Dickinson, see if he can get a post-up shot. Even Terrence Williams is able to do that. If he's double-teamed, triple-teamed, you now have shooters all around the perimeter. Coby Buffkin, Jet Howard, even Doug McDaniel looked like he wasn't afraid to take shots. Jalen Llewellyn has also been notoriously a very good three-point shooter. So, and with Joey Baker off the bench, Will Shetter has been brought in to beat 3 points. You can see Juwan Howard's been shaping this team to be able to shoot the 3 better. Last season, you thought you were going to get it in Caleb Houston. It did not work out fully to what you had expected. But currently, at this current rate, you have a lot of guys that show a lot of promise in the 3-point land.
Mm-hmm. In football, the terminology is pass sets of the run or run sets of the pass. But here, Michigan has a lot been the big men have been set with Hunter Dickinson have been setting up these perimeter shooters. But if these perimeter shooters like Jet Howard and Coby Buffkin are able to consistently make threes, draw defense, and create less double teams, so Hunter Dickinson isn't automatically seeing 2 defenders right in his face when he enters the paint, I think that's a huge boost for Michigan. It'll help Hunter Dickinson. It'll help the team. And I think that's just something that was a real standout. Hunter didn't even have a signature first half, didn't play too many minutes, not as necessary in an exhibition game. Really good to see Terrace Reed, Greg Glenn, and a lot of these other players get in for Michigan. They get meaningful minutes, albeit an exhibition, but just a very solid first half for this team.
It was a first half that you saw practically the entire team play, which also really bodes well that going up 49-30, it didn't appear that there was any drop-off when you see these players in, right? You take the starters out. You take Hunter out. You take Coby out. You take Terrence Williams out. And you say, okay, here you go, freshman. Like, what can you do for us? And they perform. And that is something that bodes well, too, going into the season. There are going to be moments when your starters cannot play. Hunter Dickinson needs to rest. He can't play all 40 minutes of a game. You're going to need to rest guys like Coby Buffkin even. Even Jet Howard's going to need some rest. So having this plethora of players, especially young players, who have this really high stamina and just a really high motor to be able to play, bodes really well for your team looking forward.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see teams when their star player goes out and when they go out, their team just goes away. But it doesn't seem like, based on what we've seen so far with this Michigan team, with the pieces that they have surrounding Hunter Dickinson, the highly touted junior from Alexandria, Virginia, went to DeMatha Catholic in Maryland. Just
shout out DMV, both Josh and I are from the DMV area.
Yeah, 3 players from the DMV on this Michigan basketball team, really recruiting well and getting that talent from the area. But Hunter Dickinson, really solid. But I think just having that ability to navigate those stretches, because it's the entire 40 minutes of the game. It's not just the 32 minutes that Hunter Dickinson is in the game. Every stretch of the game matters. It's win every timeout, win every media timeout. So you got to win those 4 minutes. And that would be the stretches that Hunter Dickinson would be missing, would not be in the game. So it'll be just interesting to see if you're going up against Indiana and you have to deal with Trace Jackson-Davis in the game without Hunter Dickinson, how does the team respond? Or a 7'4" Zach Edey, for example. Filling those voids in Big Ten. Michigan plays UNC, going against Armando Bacot and not having to deal with that. I think if Hunter Dickinson's not in the game, how can they navigate those stretches, stay in the games, and then when he's in, allow the team to just really flourish?
You know, we're speaking a lot about the offense, but defensively, this team's played really well, too. I mean, and it's not just Hunter Dickinson. Dickinson, of course, has 2 blocks, 4 rebounds, but you also have guys like Doug McDaniel. Doug McDaniel has 4 steals currently. Jace Howard had a block. You even saw Terrence Williams with a rebound and a block of his own. So you're really getting a lot of really good pressure defensively, too. Even these guards, Doug McDaniel pressing really high, Jalen Llewellyn pressing. I think that was part of Juwan Howard's plan, and it's really working against a not as complete team in Ferris State.
Yeah. You saw really good defensive intensity from Doug McDaniel. We know what Jace Howard can bring on the defensive end. And I think a lot of these players, these pieces defensively, filling those defensive voids. Caleb Houston was a solid defender last year, I'd say, for this Michigan team. Musa Diabate as well. And you had Devontae Jones. And a lot of the guys that they lost were very good defenders. Not as great scoring threats as I think this team has. So being able to make up for those gaps and fill those as a committee, and by committee, it doesn't just have to be one person that fills Eli Brooks. It could be multiple people. And I think seeing that from Doug McDaniel, Coby Buffkin, there were some defensive lapses, but that's expected in an exhibition game when you're just working out the kinks of this team. And as the season goes on, they play Purdue-Fort Wayne on Monday in their first regular season game. Then they have Eastern Michigan going up against Imani Bates next Friday at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
Well, I think we gave all the insight we possibly could, Josh. We have about 9:30 here left before play resumes in the second half. We have our amazing colleagues in KG Foley and Coby Segal who will take the second half. So I just want to say thank you all for listening to Josh and myself. My name is Jake Singer with my partner Josh Brown. Please stick around. In 9 minutes, we will get you the second half. Stay right there. You're listening to WCBN Sports here on YouTube. Michigan basketball against Ferris State. Stay right there.
Welcome back to WCBN. This is Michigan versus Ferris State exhibition game. Doesn't matter in terms of the record, but it's a good tune-up for Michigan to play a Division II team, and a pretty good Division II team at that, as Ferris State won the GLIAC last year. They were 12-0 in that conference, and thank you to our commentators in the first half, Jake Singer, Josh Brown. They did a fantastic job, and I am Coby Segal along with KG Foley, and we will take you the rest of the way. So KG, Jet Howard, he comes in, a freshman, younger brother of Jace Howard, of course, son of our great coach, Jawan Howard. He has 22 points, 8 for 9 shooting, 4 for 5 from 3. He missed his first 2 shots, and he's made his last 7 shots. So I mean, this is pretty incredible display by Jace Howard.
Yeah. By Jet. I mean, it's definitely a lot of fun to watch another Howard join the team and join the other 2 on the court. And watching him be on fire tonight is a really exciting sneak peek into, I think, the rest of the season. You know, he is a freshman. He does have to get ready to play against some of those tougher contenders. But I think starting off the season with some confidence and clearly showing that he can get warm on the court and he can make those shots in those clutch moments. And it's been so much fun to watch him here so far in the stadium.
Yeah, and he's 4 for 5 from 3. So 3-point shooting. 2 years ago, when Michigan won the Big Ten, were a 1 seed, went to the Elite Eight. 3-point shooting was their strength. They struggled a little bit last year comparatively. But you got Jet Howard, a guy that that seemingly looks like Steph Curry. I mean, that helps a lot. And you get Joey Baker and Jalen Llewellyn to add veteran presence who Jalen Llewellyn shoots 39% from 3 last year. Joey Baker 41% from Duke. And I mean, KG, how does Michigan, they're replacing a lot of players. Only Terrence Williams and Hunter Dickinson have played significant minutes on this Michigan team. What do these new players like Jet Howard, Doug McDaniel, Llewellyn Duke, and Joey Baker, how do they replace Frankie Collins, Eli Brooks, Devontae Jones?
I mean, I don't think it's something that's going to happen overnight, but I definitely think these first 4 games are going to show them what they can bring to the court, the different things they can bring to the court. And I also think it's going to definitely be up to the 3 junior captains to help bring them smoothly and transition them onto this team, using their experience, using their knowledge of their past to bring it into the future game. And, Hunter Dickinson definitely has a lot of responsibility right now on and off the court to help these freshmen acclimate to this college-level basketball game. And so far tonight, they have showed us that they can handle this arena, they can handle this environment. I think it's dangerous territory to make, too early predictions about this team, because that'll only set you up for some disappointment, which happened last year. But, I think it's definitely okay to be optimistic right now as we get started here in the second half.
Yes, you got second half for Michigan. You got Jalen Llewellyn, T. Will, Kobe Buffkin, Hunter Dickinson, and Jet Howard. Michigan starts off on the defensive end. Ferris State drives, no good. Rebound by Dickinson, and he gives it to Jalen Llewellyn. Now, this is the 3rd year in a row Juwan Howard has brought in a guard from the lower level of college basketball. He had a home run with Mike Smith as Jet Howard takes a 3, misses. Mike Smith 2 years ago really hit a home run there. And Devontae Jones struggled to start last season, but when Michigan made the Sweet 16 run, he was a huge part of that. So Jalen Llewellyn is going to be a big part, as that's a little hook shot from Ferris State, 49-32. Llewellyn taking up the ball to Howard on the wing, in a Hunter Dickinson. He gets doubled, but it shoots over 2 Ferris State players, 51-49. 32.
Hunter Dickinson always pulls in that double, but manages to find the net either way.
Yeah, I mean, if Hunter Dickinson can make great decisions out of the double team and be a threat from 3, I think that's huge. As T. Will comes off a screen, back to Llewellyn, to Buffkin, directing traffic. He drives, step back, fade away, and gets fouled by Ferris State. Ben Davidson.
Coby Buffkin is also being a really big scorer tonight. Really exciting to see him come back this season as a sophomore. He definitely was sort of lost on the bench last year behind some of those stars, but I definitely think he's back this season ready to get some serious time on the court.
In no Frankie Collins as he transferred to ASU, as Buffkin makes his first free throw, 52-32, and I mean it's really an opportunity for the sophomore to really shine. He played limited minutes last year, and I personally thought he was great as he makes second free throw, 53-32.
Tonight he's been making a lot of great shot choices as he brings up his points to 14.
Yeah, second leading scorer. Ferris State drives, kicks out to the corner, swings it around, shot, and that's good defense by T. Will as he also gets the rebound. Llewellyn takes down the court. Buffkin drives in. Oh my God. Coby Buffkin absolutely posterizing Veas Grazoulis. That was incredible.
A beautiful dunk from Coby Buffkin.
Wow. And Ferris State takes a timeout.
Yeah.
Clearly rattled. I mean,
I'm not surprised. That definitely caught that team off guard. I mean, we're seeing as Michigan gains some confidence and some of these younger players are gaining their confidence, they are taking their skill and just running with it so far tonight as the lead is well over, a few over 20 points now.
yeah, I mean, and that gives a lot of energy to the Michigan team. Coby Buffkin stands at 6'4", 195, and he powered over the starting forward for Ferris State.
He definitely was coming into the season prepared to be a bigger player. I mean, he said that he gained 20 pounds since last season, and he's, wants to be a big player. He wants to be a threat, and, showing us right there that he can take on defenders and still get to the net.
Yeah, and I mean, he improves his point total to 16. He's made all his free throws, which I think that's also key for Michigan. Last year, free throws were a bit of a struggle. I remember against Villanova in the Sweet 16 game,
Yeah.
Michigan's free throw shooting was just awful, and they left a lot of points on the board. So good to see.
Yeah. I mean, free throws are like free points, and, sometimes you think they don't matter, but at a certain point when the competition gets more heated, every point will count in the end, and those free throws should definitely be like givens for most of these players at this level.
Yeah, I mean they're free points, and if you can get to the line, I mean that kind of creates a whole new dimension for your offense, and if the defense is kind of scared to foul you, that they know you'll make your free throws, then they might not play as tough defense.
Yeah, I mean, Ferris State's been a really heavy foul team this game. I mean, I think they had over 10 fouls last half, giving Michigan that bonus very early on. And, when teams do that, I think it's up to Michigan to take advantage.
Yeah, look at the free throw disparity. Michigan, 19 attempts, Ferris State, 6. I mean, that's what happens when, Michigan's just the more physical team, and Ferris State's going to defend Michigan effectively, like they kind of have to foul. As we start again, 17-30, 55-32 in favor of Michigan. Same people on the court: Jet, Coby, Hunter, T. Will, and Llewellyn. Ferris State pull-up jumper is no good, and rebounded by Llewellyn. Well, Buffkin comes off a screen, pass from Llewellyn, just a beautiful pass. Great double screen by Hunter and T. Will, 57-32. Ferris State moving the ball around, drives on Buffkin. The spin, double by Hunter, and kicked out. And just an air ball as the crowd chants air ball. Michigan takes up this court. Llewellyn around the screen from Hunter. 3, and no good. Rebounded by Ferris State. State drives, foul on Jet Howard.
Something Ferris State's been doing really well tonight is their ball movement, but Michigan has also proved that their defense is really agile, really quick, and can chase the ball around the perimeter, you know, making sure that that passing doesn't open up too many pathways for Ferris State.
Yeah, Ferris State has not made a field goal. Is 0 for 4 in their last 4 attempts, and out of the first point in almost 3 minutes. 57-33 as Solomon Oriagbu attempts his second free throw. That's going to be good, makes 2 of 2. Got Llewellyn. Calls for a screen from Howard, hands it off. Howard around the screen to the basket, and that's fouled by Veas Grazoulis of Ferris State.
Jet Howard making that drive again. I mean, a massive player standing at 6'8". That's something Michigan's team definitely has to their advantage right now, is they are a tall team, which, you know, to their benefit, makes shooting easier, makes closing off some of those passing paths easier, and Jet Howard will make the free throw.
Yeah, I mean, Jet Howard, 23 points. This is kind of an incredible debut here. He makes the free throw again, 59-34. He's perfect on free throws, 4 for 4 on the game. Ferris State has the ball. Swinging around. Ferris State has been able to get the ball inside, but just finishing has been a problem, as Michigan does have the height and length advantage. Buffkin bites on a shot fake, and that allows Ferris State to drive in and make the shot, 59-34.
Ferris State's defense is putting a lot of pressure on Michigan really early on, trying to close off those drives as like their tall players can, you know, get close to the net and reach over most of their defense. But a beautiful three-pointer from Coby Buffkin.
Yeah, I mean, Buffkin and Howard have combined for 45 of Michigan's 62 points, 21 for Buffkin. He is 3 for 5 from 3 as Ferris State misses another close shot. T-Will has it. Little weird cross-court pass to Llewellyn in the corner. Looks for Hunter inside, tipped. Hunter steps out of bounds, but is a blocking foul on Ferris State. Veas Grazoulis, as that's going to be a timeout. 62-34 Michigan. What have you seen? I mean, 62-36 from Michigan. What have you seen in the first few minutes of the second half that you've liked from Michigan?
You know, I think right now Coach Juwan Howard is trying to figure out what lineup is meshing, what players are meshing with each other. And right now it's seeming like this lineup that's on the court right now with Dickinson, Buffkin, Llewellyn, and Jet Howard has been working for him so far. Most of those are also his starters. Coby Buffkin definitely coming into the season fighting for that second spot as guard. And so far tonight he's proved that he can earn that spot and earn that starting and keep that starting position for future games.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not sure how much we can take away from this game, as this is a Division II opponent. Obviously Michigan is the far more talented team, but it's good to see that. I mean, when Hunter Dickinson, he's only shot the ball 6 times. He has 9 points,
Yeah.
3 for 6. I mean,
Yeah, but these
it's-
games are definitely not going to be about Hunter Dickinson. I think he knows that right now he's going to need to let the younger players get a feel for the court, get a feel for college level, even if it is D2, even if it's not the biggest opponents. I mean, high school basketball is very different from college basketball. Like, college basketball is very different from professional basketball. The atmosphere changes, the expectations change, and these younger players need to get acclimated to that if they want to, really be competitive against those Big Ten teams, against those ranked teams. So tonight, Juwan Howard, I think, is testing out different lineups, seeing what works. And Coby Buffkin and Jet Howard are working, but also so is Doug McDaniel and so is Will Cheddar. Like, these players that haven't really been on the court too much are finding some confidence tonight.
And we got Matthew Carnes with the question in the chat, who's leading in scoring? That would be son of Juwan Howard, brother of Jace Howard, Jet Howard, with 24 points. He has 4 3-pointers, 4 for 6 from 3, 8 for 10 from the field, 4 for 4 free throws, 24 points in only 20 minutes. That is, I mean, that's just fantastic. And I mean, it's great to see. I mean, his first outing, and he's putting up ridiculous numbers here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's super exciting that he's here at Michigan. He was wanted by a lot. Jet Howard was wanted by a lot of colleges. I mean, he didn't really show any favor to Michigan to the very end, but he also spoke about how the coach, his dad, knows him best and knows his playing and will only put him in situations that he can handle. And I think tonight he's showing he can definitely handle it.
Yeah, that is a very interesting relationship, having 2 sons on your team and, like, I guess kind of recruiting both your sons. It's kind of very
I think
interesting.
it helps promote like a very real family dynamic on the team, because with basketball the chemistry is going to be everything as they get further down the road, and as a family man on the team, I think that's going to promote a lot of bonding, a lot of chemistry for future games.
Yes, and that's another 3-point attempt from Jet Howard. He puts the 3 through 65-36. Jet with 27. That's his 5th 3. This is a great performance. And thank you for the question. Grant Yeager has not played yet as Ferris State attempts a 3, but no good. Rebounded by Vasulis, and that's going to be 65-38 as Llewellyn takes up the ball, and he looks for Buffkin on the wing. Back to Llewellyn. Howard in the corner. Another 3, and that's good. 30 points, 6 threes. I mean, Jet Howard, water boss. This is incredible.
This is so fun to watch. I mean, the crowd is loving him. He's obviously going to be a fan favorite for this season. And if the 3-point is where he wants to be, then the 3-point is where he'll be.
Yeah, 68-4. That's a great play by Michigan. Have a screen on Hunter Dickinson with the screen on the backside. Have Howard go around the corner for the open 3. I mean, that's very helpful to have someone as dead-eye shooting as that. Hunter Dickinson bites on the pump fake from Vasulis, and that is going to be a easy layup for Ferris State, 68-42. Grazulis, my bad, not Vasulis. Llewellyn comes around the screen from Hunter. Hunter 4-3, the pick and pop, no good. That is an air ball. Now that's going to be a very important. Hunter's 3-point shooting is going to be very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, super exciting. Youssef, the international freshman, has come onto the court. He has definitely been a player to watch. He usually plays small forward or power forward. And he's been impressive on his defensive skills in practice, but his offensive skills definitely need to be rounded out as he missed on a couple of months of practice with the team over the summer.
And he is from Lebanon. So, I mean, he is not ranked, according to 247, he's not, like, ranked at all. So it's kind
of a mystery right now. Yeah, so it's really going to be exciting to watch him play, especially as like a very newcomer to the team, someone who didn't even get to spend that much time with them over the summer.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how Juwan Howard found him in his first minutes. Let's see what he can do as Ferris State makes the free throw 68-43.
Yusuf's been attributing a lot of his desire to come to Michigan to Juwan Howard and his team, saying that they've welcomed him here with open arms, and he is just absolutely super excited to be part of a college experience before going pro.
Caleb Steele says, is Jet Howard as good as Jordan Poole? I think he might be. He's not making $100 million, but I think that's a very fair question. It's going to be a offensive foul on Michigan. That is the first foul on Kayat. So his first action, he gets a foul, gets in the game. First stat ever. And Ferris State goes up for Llewellyn bit on the shot fake, and he fouls Ferris State player, that is Amari Lee. 7 points for Ferris State, 3 for 4 shooting.
Someone in the comment made a really good point that we won't really know about Jet until Big Ten play, but I think we can say that for most of the team. They're definitely in a trial period right now. I mean, Ferris State is nowhere near the toughest competition they'll have, but it's nice to see them working things out and seeing that shooting definitely be on point from a lot of the new players.
Nice. And we got 68-44 here. Amari Lee misses the free throw. A fight for the ball. Terrace Reed Jr. with the rebound. Good to fight. How is the Duke bench warmer doing? Well, Joey Baker did not get his senior day because of Coach K's little retirement party. So let's see if Michigan can give him that. And Yusuf fadeaway 3. And that is no good. Looks like, wonder if they called some foul. I don't know if they teed someone up. Yeah, it's a technical foul on Fayette. So that is very interesting. I'm not sure why. Did they call a flopping foul?
I think it was a
don't
flap
know.
warning is what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, flopping is
So Ferris State will get a free throw.
yeah, flopping is never a good thing, as Toronto Raptors fan knows. Kyle Lowry, an excellent flopper. Ferris State has the ball, 68-45. Terrace Reed guarding the high screen. Ferris State moves it around. Pull-up jumper over T-Will. Rebound by Ferris State. They save it. Rebounded by the Lebanese player, Yusuf, and he makes his first basket. The flag of Lebanon is waving here, and that is great to see. And that's going to be a charge taken by Joey Baker, the Duke bench warmer.
The Duke bench
now
warmer.
Michigan stud Joey Baker. Great play. I mean, how good does that feel? Come over from Lebanon, your second shot, you just get a flop warning, and you make a little dunk there. Yeah, like that was kind of a little half dunk, not a full dunk, but
a little half dunk, but definitely super exciting for him. Assistant coach Phil has talked a little bit about how he's super anxious to do really well on this team. So I think all the love from the crowd and even just those little moments like that are going to help him build confidence on this team.
I'm sure it has to feel good to have a pretty big supporting section. I mean, to have your home flag there is, that has to be very, very helpful there.
Yeah. Another player that's on the court right now who is a freshman is Terrace Reed, who is 6'10" and 260 pounds. He's going to be a really important player for when Hunter Dickinson needs to, take his 8 to 10 minutes of break during the game. He easily rotates, and he's also very physical, and he's very strong. He knows how to finish with some double teams on him. His ball handling could definitely be a little stronger, but he does have that strong physical aspect to him, and that sort of resembles some of what Hunter Dickinson brings to the court.
Yeah, and you're right. He is going to be very important because Hunter Dickinson can't play all game. And, I mean, we haven't seen him be too aggressive. I kind of want to see him be aggressive. I mean, he's only shot the ball twice. He hasn't
Hunter
made
Dickinson?
a shot at
Terrace Reed?
Terrace Reed, yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't had too much playing time tonight, only bringing in around 8 minutes. But it's definitely a role that he needs to grow into. You know, covering for Hunter Dickinson is no easy task when he's sitting on the bench. So we'll see, I think, through the season, him progress into that role and get more confident and more aggressive and use his build to his advantage.
And 247 Sports has him ranked as 121st nationally. He's a 4-star recruit. So obviously Michigan's recruiting class is not as highly touted as it was last year. They're 10th overall. They don't have 2 5-stars in Caleb Houston and Musa Diabate, who are both in the NBA. But
yeah,
I mean,
well, Hunter Dickinson talked a little bit during the Big Ten Media Day about how technically the team last year might have been a little more talented, but he says that he thinks the talent this year meshes a little bit better together, and that there's more of a sense that the team is playing for each other and not for themselves. So hopefully we can see some of that this season.
Yes. And the 5 on the court right now is Doug McDaniel, Joey Baker, Taurus Reed, Yusef Kayat, and T. Will. And has Jace played with Jet yet? No. I think it would be fantastic to see it. Doug McDaniel gets the ball stolen in the backcourt. Ferris State, shot blocked by T. Will, but they recover and will make the 2-point basket, 70-24. Ferris State with the full court press. Michigan having little trouble. Yusef, the pass to Terrace Reed, and the and one. Count it. That is first career, I guess not official points, because this game doesn't count, but first points in a Michigan uniform. Taurus Reed, great pass from Yusef Kayat.
An awesome moment from 2 freshmen on the team.
Yes, and I mean, great job, Taurus Reed, to use his body. He's a big guy. I mean, good to see him not avoid contact here.
Absolutely. Great communication, great pass, and, hopefully he can make these free throws right now. Not that the team really needs it. They are winning 72-47,
they're winning
but
by a lot.
no reason he shouldn't.
Oh, and yeah, the motion looks okay, but it is off the top, it's off the back rim, and he misses. Got 11 minutes left here, 72-47. 5 on the floor is the same. Joey Baker is in the game. The Duke. And Joey Baker with a nice little deflection there on the pass.
Doug McDaniel is also on the court now.
Yeah, Doug McDaniel, one of my personal favorite players. He's a little guy. 5'11" is a little guy
On
in
this
basketball.
court, yeah.
Yes, and the fadeaway 3 from Ferris State, that is a brick. And Joey Baker rushes down the court, but he slows down as they did not have the numbers. That's a little errant pass. Doug McDaniel saves it, but that's going to be a backcourt violation. A little trouble for Michigan.
Yeah. Joey Baker is definitely to be expected to help bring some of that veteran experience to this team that is super young. So while he might have been a bench warmer at Duke, I think his experience being on a collegiate team will be helpful to this younger roster.
Yeah, for sure. And Jace Howard checks in for Terrence Williams. That's going to be a foul on Joey Baker, his first personal. Michigan's 5th. 72-47, 10:30 left. Ferris State looks to get some offense going. Good deflection by Jace. Ferris State. Oh, Doug McDaniel with another deflection. Michigan doing a great job with those deflections. How important are deflections on the defensive end? What does it do mentally and physically?
I mean, it definitely slows down the other team, ruins any flow or any plan they might have had to make a move. So I always think deflections are a great way to help rattle the other team's offense.
It's a miss from 3. Doug McDaniel has it around the screen from Jet. Breaks the guy's ankles and the pass to Ferris Reed. I mean, Doug, teach me how to Dougie.
Oh.
Doug McDaniel.
That was also an awesome dunk
for
from Ferris Reed.
Doug McDaniel gets back down into the paint, and he gets scored on. So that's one thing Doug McDaniel is going to have to work out. He is very small, so while he's shifty on the offensive end, maybe a little bit of a liability right now as he steps back for 3. That's a miss. But either way, good job by Doug with the feed on the offensive end. Ferris State, deep 3. And that's going to be an air ball as the air ball chants ring through the Crisler Center.
Doug McDaniel talks about how he really just wants to make a presence on the court, and he knows that he might not be on Michigan's bigger side of the team, but he knows that he will make the other players work. And even Coach Jawan says that, Doug is not someone to think any less of, and that he will make a presence, and he's going to make the other team work for every point if he's on them. So looking forward to watching him strengthen his defense at the collegiate level.
A little interesting, Ferris State does bring out full court press down 25. Doug McDaniel has the ball. Screen from Reed. You got Reed in the post. Kicks out to Jace Howard, and that's an air ball. Reed saves it, though. Doug McDaniel's shot. Oh, with the clock counting down, Doug McDaniel, the fadeaway deep 2 at 76-49. Great awareness by Doug of the shot clock counting down there. Jace Howard, intense defense, forces an errant pass as Jace Howard deflects it.
Doug McDaniel took that defense really well, and managing to get that shot off right at the end of the buzzer shows that he's, got an eye on the court, got an eye on the time, is able to definitely take in a lot going on.
And McDaniel with 6 points, 5 assists, the most assists on Michigan as Ferris State. Michigan leaves Ferris State wide open for a 3. 76-49, 8 minutes left. Doug McDaniel taking it up, directing traffic, doing a little spin move, little fancy dribbling, drives, and that is a great finish just under the Ferris State defender. Doug McDaniel does a good job of getting back on defense. He bites for the shot fake, and Ferris State making so. Doug McDaniel really dynamic on the offensive end. His defense so far has left something to be desired, but that will come with experience, I think.
I definitely agree.
You saw a similar situation with Coby Buffkin and Frankie Collins, really dynamic on the offensive end last year. Took a little while for the defense to come. Steps back for a 3. McDaniel, no good. Ferris State with numbers, and they drive it inside. Little reverse layup. Reed bites on the layup fake. That's 78-56 Ferris State. Michigan shooting 9 for 21 from 3. Joey Baker fakes, steps back, pass to Youssef. Back to Baker, but he steps out of bounds. Baker looking a little frustrated here as it's going to be a timeout. 6:55 left in the game. 78-56 in favor of Michigan. Preston Ullery asks how many timeouts left. Michigan's got 3 timeouts. Ferris State has 2 timeouts left, but as the media timeouts go, this is the second to last one. We'll have another one after the 4-minute mark. So, KG,
Yeah.
what do you want to see from Michigan here from last 6 minutes.
In these last 6 minutes, I mean, they're ahead right now. I don't really see Ferris State taking this lead away from them. So I really hope Jawan lets, the younger players stay on the court, figure things out. I want to see them try some new things, try some movement, take those shots, and really use these exhibition games and use these games against these less competitive teams to push themselves while they're not under immense pressure, because the pressure will absolutely come, as Michigan is always going to be expected to go far in this tournament. I mean, they've been in the Sweet 16 for, how many years now? I think 4 years in a row.
I think 4 or 5.
4 or 5 years in a row, and they're going to be expected to be at that level continuously, but right now they definitely have some time to develop their skills, develop that team chemistry, develop that trust on the court, and I would love to see them have some moments like Youssef and Terrace had, where they had that great chemistry, that great pass, that great finish, because moments like that are going to be very bonding for the team, and if they can keep that connection throughout the season, this could be a really powerful team.
Yes, and that's the difference between basketball and football. Basketball, the regular season is not as important, where in football every game is do or die. So you have the first part of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of develop your young guys. There's not as much pressure at the beginning of the season as there will be in the Big Ten tournament, the NCAA tournament. So I think that's the advantage.
Definitely.
And having a young team that's also talented.
Yeah, and Jace Howard is on the court right now. I mean, he wasn't really a player with a lot of minutes last season, but he is a captain this season, one of the 3 juniors that's a captain. So I would love to see him step into a leadership role, while also strengthening his play, but I definitely think his presence on the team is something that could definitely be unifying for these younger players.
Isaiah Barnes down the floor now. The 5 for Michigan is Kayat, Jace Howard, Paris Reed Jr., Isaiah Barnes, as well as Dougie McDaniel. And that's going to be a team foul on Michigan. I'm not quite sure. Oh, on Kayat. This is
Isaiah Barnes is also on the court right now, a sophomore who's looking to, work his way off the bench after last season with, those big players leaving holes to fill.
Yeah, and Isaiah Barnes pretty much only played in garbage time, but remember, he was in Michigan's recruiting class last year. He's a 4-star recruit too, so he is no slouch. A lot of potential. He's 119th nationally from Simeon Academy, very touted academy in Chicago. So he is no slouch. He's got Michigan has a lot of depth.
Yeah, definitely there's possibility for a very deep bench this season, which can also help take some of that pressure that's on Hunter Dickinson to be one of the lead scorers in all different categories for this team.
Yeah, Ferris State misses the second free throw, 78-57. Doug McDaniel slowing it down for Michigan, directing traffic. Screen from Reed. McDaniel. Handoff to Barnes, back to McDaniel. Howard in the corner to Reed, down low, looking for Kayat in the little floater is no good. Jace Howard's open in the corner. Would have liked to see Kayat hit Howard, but Kayat is very active on the defensive end. Hands up, moving very well today. Reed is getting back down in the corner, and the hook shot by Grasulis is good. 78-59. This is we got 3 freshmen on the court for Michigan. So very young. This can be a valuable experience.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity to put some of that stuff they've been doing in practice for the last several months into action on the court.
McDaniel comes off the screen, blows by his defender and draws the foul. No, he had a Paris Reed kind of sealing off the backside, allowing McDaniel to work, and he's so quick and
He's very, very quick. It's been a lot of fun to watch tonight as he has, not let his height stop him from being quick, being aggressive, taking on defenders, and making drives to the basket.
yeah, he is definitely a short king, but not that short. 'Cause he's 5'11", as he makes the second free throw, 79-59, 9 points for Doug. 5:20 left in the game. Foul on Doug. First personal. We got some stats for Michigan here, some important stats. They have 13 assists and 9 turnovers on 27 made field goals. So, I mean, that is... I don't know if I'm concerned because iso ball will work against your team that when you're against a team that you're way more talented though, talented than, iso ball will work more often, so I'm not too worried, but the assist turnover ratio not great to start. 79-61. Jace Howard misses a 3. Ferris State inside on Reed. Good D by Reed. Jace Howard falls down. It's crossed up, and he finishes with the contact. No foul call. 79-63. Jace Howard fell over and a few
Seemed
times.
like it was an
this game.
unfortunately timed trip on either himself or a Ferris State player.
Yes. McDaniel coming off the screen. Michigan moving it around. Reed on the block. Double teamed. Triple team now. Out to Barnes for 3, and that is good. Great play by Reed. That's his second assist of the game. Isaiah Barnes, his first 3 of the game. Great play by Reed. 4 minutes left. The next stop, there will be another media timeout. As Greg Glenn III looks to check in. Ferris State takes it down the course. They have numbers. Little floater is no good. Isaiah Barnes called for the foul. It's going to be another media timeout. So what have you seen in the last few minutes? I mean, maybe either some positive things or cause for concern, or do we probably shouldn't panic because it's an exhibition
I definitely
game?
don't think there's any need to panic right now. I think what we're seeing right now with a lot of freshmen on the court is a little bit of sloppy play, a little bit of lack of experience coming into play, especially on the offense. A lot of passing around, not a lot of drives or plays happening. I feel like also the ball has been kind of on the floor, and there's been a lot of whistles, so it hasn't been a smooth game the last 5 minutes. But I mean, now is the time to get used to everything. So I don't think there's anything that causes for concern, but I definitely do think that despite the showing tonight, there's a lot of youth on this team and a lot of room for growth and experience to strengthen them all around. I mean, because all of them have their strengths, all of them have come in with things that they are already proud of. But if you really want to have a good team, you want to have well-rounded players. So I think that's the goal for all of these younger folks on the team.
Yeah, and as with all preseason games, you can kind of bend the narrative to basically whatever you want. You know, if your team plays well, you can be, they play well, that's good. But if they play bad, it doesn't matter. It's a good preseason game. So we're gonna take the positive side.
I think we'll take the positive side.
And we're gonna ignore every bad thing. So KG, what's one performance that you are very encouraged by that you think can translate to the regular season?
I'm encouraged a lot by Doug McDaniel right now. I mean, he seems to be playing point guard and seems to have some confidence with that right now, and I'm excited for what his agility and his speed will bring to the offense. You know, watching him drive has been a lot of fun. Watching him draw defenders and beat them has been a lot of fun. And I'm just excited to see where Jawan puts him in the lineup, where he puts him in future games where, you know, obviously it's not going to be an unranked team. So I'm excited to see how he gets used this season. I mean, he is only a freshman, so I don't know how much we'll expect to see him on the court in tougher games, but if he keeps progressing and keeps playing like he's playing tonight, then there's no reason why he can't be a key player in the future.
Yes, as Greg Glenn III checks in for his first minutes of the game.
Greg Glenn is going to be another one of those players who is a freshman that is going to be responsible for holding over the court while Hunter Dickinson is taking some time on the bench. He is a power forward, and he is a pretty strong ball handler as opposed to Reed, who does also cover that position for Dickinson. So they're two of those players that will definitely be seen in that role when Hunter Dickinson is sitting on the bench.
Yeah, and he is a perimeter player as far as forwards go, ranked 121st in the country by 247. As he loses the ball with the rebound, but we love the hustle by Glenn, even as Ferris State makes a dunk with and one, I believe. Or are they calling it technical?
They might be calling it technical. It seems like the ball's going the opposite direction right now. Some conversation on the court between the players and the refs. A little bit of frustration from Ferris State, so I would imagine the call is not in their favor.
I wonder if they called him from hanging on the rim. I think that's...
Yep, no basket.
Yeah, okay, so it's not for hanging on the rim. Interference.
Interference call for hanging on the rim.
Oh, I don't really know what that means, to be honest. Oh, hung on the rim. Wait, so if you hang on the rim, it's no basket apparently. In college, which
okay, so
that doesn't make
this is the
any
call.
sense.
When you hang on the ring in college, it is considered an interference. So that is a rule to stay humble.
Okay, yeah, that is. I mean,
it's college.
Yeah, calling out the NCAA here. I mean, this is a maybe one of the worst rules I have ever seen. And that's if he hadn't hung on the rim, he probably would have broke his back and his neck. And that's a good fadeaway hook by Doug McDaniel. So I really don't understand that. But, you know, the NCAA will do whatever they want. That's a three by Ferris State.
Yeah, I mean, they did some great passing just right there for Ferris State and caught Michigan's defense off guard and left that player wide open on the right side of the court.
Yeah, 84-69. Again, I don't want to panic, but this is like 15 points for Division II. I think that's a little close.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, we can see how the score has closed up with some of these younger folks. Some of these younger folks, I'm talking like I'm a middle-aged man, but some of these younger players on the court, this lead has definitely pulled in a little bit. Again, as some of the holes in their defensive play are shining through. But obviously, I still don't think that they'll lose this lead. So I think Jawan is going to keep it going, keep letting them figure it out there. I mean, now's the time. So we'll see how they finish up this game. But no need for concern, but definitely showing that tonight is not a full, exciting celebration for the star-studded team. This team definitely has a lot of room for development, especially in their defensive play.
Yeah, and I would expect, so Michigan plays their first game of the season versus Purdue Fort Wayne in the always epic Horizon League. I mean, one of my favorite leagues. So Michigan's minus 24. The line is minus 24. So it is, I mean, I guess they're not, I mean, I don't want to say it's concerning, but it's, I mean, it's a little puzzling considering Purdue Fort Wayne is a lot better. I guess it is a preseason game. It really doesn't matter. It's Doug McDaniel, fadeaway. off the front rim.
Doug McDaniel's able to make an interference there on the Ferris State drive to the net. He's done a few of those deflections tonight. I think those are smart plays. Every time he's done it tonight, it's been a smart play. I think he's kind of proved that he does have a pretty high basketball IQ, making some really good calls in a lot of moments.
Yeah, for sure. And I love his motor, and I think him and Terrace Reed Jr. coming off the bench, I think they can be a really good pick and roll combo. As they go to the same pick and roll again, Isaiah Barnes 4-3. That's good. Splash for number 11. His second 3 of the game. 6 points for Barnes. 87-69. And got Greg Glenn playing intense defense. As it's a good backside cuts and pass by Ferris State. Offensive rebound over 3 Michigan players. But
those 3 Michigan players were
ball.
towering over that player. I mean, this height on this team is going to definitely be a big tool for them.
Yes, they have a very tall team. Doug McDaniel is really only short player. Buffkin 6'4", he's like their second shortest player. As McDaniel, the floater off the backboard, no good. Daniel being aggressive, you love to see that. Not really any harm in being aggressive here. Ferris State shoots a 3 over McDaniel. Rebound, Ferris State, air ball, and 1 attempt. That's just a foul on Glenn, the 3rd. Ferris State going to the line.
The rebound game with this lineup hasn't been super great. I mean, we've been watching Ferris State get rebound after rebound. So I think some aggression under the net and also control under the net is necessary as we keep watching Michigan lose the ball.
Yeah, you talk about control. I think that's a very good point because Michigan has bit for a lot of pump fakes, and they are young. Understand they are the bigger team, so it's tempting to want to block the shot, but that is something that Michigan can grow
So
from.
Michigan just did a big sub-in, I think, taking out almost all the players that were on the court except for Greg Glenn. It seems that they have brought on player number 4, Ian Burns, and player number 34, Jackson. Salivala. Jackson Salivala was the manager for the team last year, and he's walked on as a senior this year. So while he is a new player, he's also sort of a vet, knows the team, knows how they function, knows what has worked in the past and what didn't work last season. So, even if he doesn't play a lot on the court, he might bring some insight off the court.
Yes.
I think. And number 45, Cooper Smith, has also come on the court while he smashed into a photographer on the side of the net. So Cooper Smith is also a player that probably is going to need a second look this season as he did have back surgery that he's been recovering from, and he's on the court tonight for these last 50 seconds as he misses a free throw.
And, if I was a team manager, I think it would personally be my dream to get in a game. And
yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
That's just so cool.
I mean, definitely probably has a lot of love for this game. Being a manager for 3 years, probably assume he played in high school then at that point. And I think that's what every team needs, is a love for the sport, a lot of passion, a lot of chemistry. And he's definitely a player that can help bring that. But also, he is known to be a pretty good shooter. And he's a tough cover and a pick. So, might be used for that a lot, and just a general solid defender is what the coaches have been saying about him.
Yeah, and I could see him serving in kind of a Jace Howard role from last year. Not really playing a whole lot, but like if you're a good defender and you can hustle, like Juwan Howard will put you in for a little bit. You saw during the Colorado State game, the NCAA tournament, Coach Howard put his son Jace in the last few minutes of the first half because he was, I assume he was frankly disappointed with Michigan's effort, and Jace Howard
Yeah.
always shows some effort. So I think that's pretty important.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously this game was sort of a bit of a given of a win for Michigan, but it'll be exciting to see how Juwan uses his bench in situations where that's not always the case, and what players come in at certain points in the game when, whether defense is needed, offense is needed, shooting is needed, teamwork is needed. So I'm excited to see how he utilizes this team this season.
Yeah, as Greg Glenn misses a free throw, the three from Ferris State, still fighting, very commendable. Another three, 15 seconds, rebounded by Ferris State, going up, no good.
Again, rebound after rebound just out of Michigan's hand with 10 seconds left in this second half.
I mean, credit to Ferris State. They're the GLIAC champions for a reason. They have fought very hard, only losing by 15. In my book, that is a win for Ferris State as they get a dunk. That is number 10, Owen Hardy. Good to see him get in the game as Cooper Smith is going to dribble it out. Final score, 88-75, Michigan. You got a leading scorer, Jet Howard, 30 points, 10 for 12 shooting, 6 for 8 from 3, 4 for 4 free throws, and pretty easy win for Michigan. Game was never in doubt. And what's your takeaway here?
My takeaway is, there's a lot to take away from this game. I think, it's clear that this is a young team, but a young team with talent and shooting potential. And some of them are not the most well-rounded players, but I think that's something that's going to come with time. It was really exciting to see the team officially together on the court. A lot of new faces. Doug McDaniel showing a little bit of confidence. I mean, Jet Howard having a super, super impressive debut game tonight. That was super fun to watch him be on fire from the three-point line. Hopefully that's something that he can carry into future games. Watching some of those younger players at the end was a little bit of a telling sign that there are some holes in the defense. There are some holes in their experience. That's something that will fill with time, and I think it's going to be up to the veterans to push their player, point out the flaws in their games. And I'm really excited for this team though, and I think it could be a really, really great season.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us. We got the next broadcast versus Purdue Fort Wayne at home, first official game of the season, November 7th, 6:30. We will be on FM. Join us at 6 Eastern time for the pregame show. I mean, I've never done a pregame show. Sounds fun. But yes, I will be on that broadcast actually as well. So very excited. Thank you for joining us. I'm Coby Segal with KG Foley. Thank you guys.
Have a great night.